Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Barbarian in this Crusader Kings 2 and today we return here to Quantum Leap. We had a wonderful and fairly long life as Kaiser Egbert of the Holy Roman Empire. After he settled in Navarra, he also passed away, and now we've moved on to Björn of Leeds, and we are of House Hull, and I gotta be real with you, I don't know, is this just a hanged pig? What's going on there? Either way, we are detached priests. We are scarred, content, temperate, stubborn, diligent, charitable, kind, zealous, and possessed. We're a pretty decent person, except we are also possessed for some reason. Now, we are a renowned duelist, as you can see right there. We have a very mediocre duelist stat, but, you know, we are kind of living up to the English ideal. And there is currently a civil war brewing, or rather already going on in England. And the funny thing is, we are not on the side of those that are rebelling. However, if you take a long look here, then we are on the side of the person that is rebelling. Can't lift the excommunication. I would love to do that if I had the choice, but with that not really being a choice, I can only say we have to watch as our friend is getting likely to be hammered by the King of England. Let's just see how long Earl Björn lives anyway. We are under the Duke of Terrar. I don't think we can do too much. He's 18, you know, it's a good start. He's of House Wessex, and we're 65. If we could get rid of House Wessex, that would be fun, but we are content, and honestly, we're already 65 anyway. So let's just see where it goes and where this game carries us. Oh damn, Earl Björn of Leeds is still getting busy. And he's not just getting busy with his wife, as you can see, because this is the child of his lover Winflet. Pretty decent lover, 24 years old, a gardener. Oh, they met each other. It's always the gardener. My god. What are we going to do here? Now, how do we feel about our wife? We feel fairly mediocre. We feel very positively about Winflet. Winflet, Othbert is legitimized. There you go. The rebellion ended, it is a wide peace, and we have another son, Aedwin. Welcome to the world, I guess. The children at Nicaea. Despite all adversities and many attempts to undermine his divinely inspired leadership, Folko has been able to march his army all the way to Nicaea. With the Holy Land finally within reach, the Crusaders' resolve has been strengthened. Their leader is certain that the infidels will not dare to raise their arms against them once they realize the holy mandate, and instead will open the doors of Jerusalem at their arrival. Yeah, I don't think that's happening, but maybe Folko will actually succeed. He's in Italian. I never even looked at this. Voice of Jesus. Let's see how it goes. I doubt that he will win, but you know, you gotta try, right? Now, did help them a little bit here, but Queen Bedriska and King Luitpold of Aquitaine, who's the Duke of Navarra, are keeping it together, and they are defending successfully against the Umayyads. Maybe we actually created a bulwark here. I sure hope so. Has anyone else ever noticed just how long this English neck is? Isn't that a bit... Man, it looks so weird. What a long neck. Why are you sieging me? The Angels in Antioch. After receiving a vision of the Archangel Gabriel, who helped him lead his army through the treacherous path leading to Outremer, the children of Folko have miraculously managed to reach Antioch before being spotted by the infidels. In spite of the boys' claim that the infidels would forsake their devils upon their very arrival without the need for a fight, the heathens occupying Jerusalem have begun mobilizing their army, ready and eager to slaughter the innocent souls marching against them in order to protect their ill-gotten land. The world will soon see whether Folko was truly blessed by the Lord. Those poor, foolish souls. The Ikshidid Sultanate has a pretty decent number, I would argue, of troops. And the troops of the Sultanate are considerably better than Folko's, who are all light infantry. Let's just see how it works. Maybe he will win, maybe he will lose. We can never know without actually checking it out. There must be more to life than this. I lost the content trade, and that is because my liege lord was unable to take care of me. He is sieging down Yordale, and he may or may not win it, but he let Leeds fall, and that I cannot forgive. And because of it, your title are my title. And would you look at that, not only has our liege lord disappointed us, the Pope agrees. And just like that, we have a claim on the Duchy of Terrar, making it possible for us to actually go ahead and take what should be ours, seeing as House Wessex is very much incompetent. Yeah, and I think it's really just time to clean house, to get him out of here and to teach him a bit of a lesson. And I'm going to do this with the aid of, you know, a fairly small but very cute Navarrese company. Let's march right in there, let's destroy them, let's teach them a lesson. And then become the Duke ourselves. He is calling in some allies, but I think we will be fine by the looks of it. We should have the troops to actually finish these sieges and, you know, destroy our enemy here in time. The Children's Crusade, facing against the concrete threat of heathen army, the Children's Crusade shattered in 1,000 crying pieces. Without proper leadership, equipment, or trained soldiers, Folko was unable to stand against his foes. Despite being able to lead his followers all the way to the Holy Land, his dreams of a Christian Jerusalem will go unfulfilled. Abandoned by most of his supporters, the boy has been sold into slavery, alongside many other children captured by the infidels after their defeat. A sad yet inevitable fate. Folko has been sold into slavery at 16 years old. What a shame. With the untimely capture of Folko by Padishah Seljuk II, the boy's attempt to lead a horde of zealots to recapture the Holy Land for Christendom has been foiled. The child's followers have swiftly scattered to the four winds after the loss of their beloved leader, unable to comprehend why God would allow Folko to be stuffed so easily before succeeding in his divine quest. Maybe it is for the best. I don't know if it is, but what I do know is that, of course, the Crusade was always meant to be a failure. Historically speaking, that is exactly what it was. So now I think it is time to finally engage them. I don't know whether we are too late, whether we are just in time to teach them a lesson, but I think it is direly needed. And I need you, my dear friend and steward. Or maybe court chaplain, I'm not actually sure. There we go, look at this. I am that you command these armies. Let's take a look at what we can do here. They have a pretty decent army. A decent chunk of heavy infantry in there. We also have a very decent chunk of heavy infantry. So ultimately, I think we will be the winners. But whether that is actually true, you know what? Let's just find out. We are not leading in the army ourselves, which is, of course, you know, I think the right thing to do for a 70-year-old. My court physician Maud has shared some of her latest ideas with me. I do not know much of medicine, but perhaps she's onto something. She's asked for some money to develop a theory further and write a book on it. Oh. Let's take a look at this battle. Oh, they had no commanders. They are severely outnumbered. A very, very easy victory, I would argue. And with this victory, the Duchy of Terrar will actually come into the possession of the House of Hull, which is still a very young one. We are only the second in power. Ebba, the CEO of Paradox, has just been born. A bit early. And the war's over. And I want to thank the Pope. I want to thank the Count of Terrar for now spending some lovely time in my prison. And would you look at that? We have taken over Terrar. Duke Björn of Hull is only the second of his name to even rule in the first place, but he has done it despite having started, you know, with me taking over at 65, quite old already. What a success story. What an absolute success story. Could I revoke a title? No, well, too bad. Oh wow, and we have a wicked Pope. Oh no, what happened here? So, I assume that the nephew of Kaiser Egbert passed away. Hartmann passed away indeed. And Kaiser Peter got elected, but the heir of Kaiser Hartmann for some reason must have been... Wait, was Clemencia? Yeah, Duchess Clemencia of Angria took over here. Yeah, these are ugly borders, but what can you do? At the end of the day, it is the Pope, and this does show these church lands and the way they were owned, you know, by the church, although not directly by the Pope. The HRE still looks kind of nice. I'm not against this, I just wish maybe the Pope were to be integrated into the HRE, something like that, but that is no longer up to us. And are you attacking someone? Nope, just defending. Permanently defending Navarra, but it looks like they are permanently winning in Navarra. Look at that, he sadly passed away. Oh wow, they actually had a child. Now sadly, these houses will not unify their realms because we have House von Österreich and House von Billung, and the House von Billung will go over into von Jülich, but, you know, close enough really. They are still allies, they are still friends, and will support each other, and it looks very nice. It looks so far as though they would indeed always win against the infidels. I think this is a nice, small, and non-blobby bulwark. The Kingdom of England is an elective monarchy, and I think that I would do best on the throne of England, because I'm simply a good ruler. Now, we had a friend here a while ago. Oh, there's a cannibal over here. The Duke of Somerset is a cannibal. We had a friend over here, but he is no longer around. We, you know, can't say that the Duke of, I believe, Leicester. What is this? The Duke of East Anglia? I can't say that we are friends anymore. Now, I think we are going to vote for ourselves. Otherwise, I would have voted for him. Of course, he's younger and everything in between. But I don't think that getting England under our control is a realistic goal. I mean, nobody supports us. Everybody knows we are old and we are soon to pass away. I am going to join a higher council authority. That sounds about right. I do not want any seniority succession. Thank you very much. And then, of course, we are going to ask me as the next ruler of England. In all honesty, I cannot believe that this dude is still alive. I thought we would die just, you know, 2 days in and then I could see who we get, but Instead we're here, but you know, I'll take it, and I will also be merciful to you. I'm a good guy. I swear. Mort has published the results from a medical investigation, so the book has not received any notable attention. It is just gathering dust in my library. How unlucky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's just science right there. Well, it's pretty cool that this character actually, you know, already had a big family before we took over, and with that big family, he legitimately went out and married his people to people that are quite influential. For example, Duchess Felice of Gluesing is married to Girth, our son, and will, sooner rather than later hopefully, hand it over to an of Hull. Now, it is quite sad that this is a normal marriage, but what can you do? At the end of the day, you know, at least temporary strength in England and Wales for the House of Hull sounds pretty good to me already. And I think, seeing as we are Duke on the islands, I will also seek an alliance with West Francia. Oh, I'm excited for this. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe actually all of this can culminate in us becoming the King of England. Oh, I don't know. Would Duke Björn have the balls? He's a zealous man. He's possessed. I mean, you know, possessed in this context mostly means that, you know, sometimes he has having some seizures. But of course, people back in the day didn't understand this. Possessed does not mean that we are entirely random and everything in between. But I think, you know, we are of course kind and everything. But think about it. The Pope granted us a claim on Deda. We are a stubborn man, and we know that the ruler, that King Adred II, the tormentor of England, is not a good ruler because he is of House Wessex, and House Wessex is a complete and utter failure. So maybe we should actually head for the English king title. Even if we weren't keeping it, I mean, you know, I would love to keep it, of course, don't get me wrong here, but even if we weren't keeping it, you gotta try something, right? I think I'll let the gods decide. Even in our old age, we are going to go on a pilgrimage, because think about it, we hold not Jerusalem, and I see that the Ikshidites are actually falling apart, but we do not hold Jerusalem. But all the struggles against the Umayyads have led to a free Santiago, meaning that we can go there on a pilgrimage, and that is exactly what we shall do. I shall go on a pilgrimage to seek God's grace at one of the holy places of Christianity, and if this goes well, I think then we can see our invasion of England, our, you know, grasp for power, as sanctioned by the Lord himself. There are a number of different holy places, and we will go to a holy site in the west. I shall visit the tomb of Saint James in Santiago. Oh, Norway, still beautifully Christian. Denmark and Sweden have not yet decided to join the Christian fold. Unlucky. I also noticed actually that Ivaring here is still on the throne. Let me check something. King Faster. Do they have any relationship? I don't think they are in any way related to, well, they are related, obviously, but they're not directly related to the girl arm, Goody girl arm, or whatever his name was, I can't remember, that lived up here and was our husband, Gutfried, that's the name. Yeah, so this line appears to be simply gone entirely. My things are packed, everything is in order, I'm ready to walk the way of St. James. My journey begins. The old wooden bridge has carried many pilgrims in its day. It creaks suspiciously as you step on it. I shall, you know what, these people deserve a stone bridge. I shall pay for it. He is a charitable man. As you pass through a small village along the pilgrim's path, an old woman comes up to you. She has recognized you as a pilgrim and explains that her daughter and her family live close to your destination. They are suffering hard times, and she asks you to bring them a large purse of money. Lie and keep the money for yourself. This is not my business. Secretly add some money of your own. Obviously, we'll add some money of my own. During the last couple of days, you have made a company on the road with a holy knight on his way to the same destination. You have lively and interesting conversations, and you find that you have many things in common. Unexpected to make a new friend this far from home. Very nice. Santiago. I have finally arrived at Santiago, the oldest major pilgrimage site in the west. It is an inland town close to the Atlantic Ocean, with origins going back to at least the Roman Empire. The fabled Way of St. James is a long road to travel, and you have passed through many towns and villages on your way here. The legend holds that as St. James' remains were brought here by ship from Jerusalem, they were lost at sea due to a storm, but soon after they were miraculously washed ashore, covered in scallops. Because of this, scallop shells have become a popular souvenir among pilgrims. Your mind dwells on the legends of this holy place as you make your way through the crowds towards the center of town. You know what, maybe, just maybe, it is also a little bit inspiring. He himself has not been a crusader. You know, you have to understand that historically speaking, of course, not everyone, not every noble, far from it, in Europe went on to become a crusader, you know, to go and aid the crusades in, you know, their very own, you know, like to actually attend them is what I meant to say there. And maybe, you know, walking the path here along Aquitaine and Navarra inspires him to, I mean, he's already, of course, zealous, but to emulate the legends of those Crusaders, of Duke Egbert, of Kaiser Egbert, whatever you want to use as a title there. And maybe this, you know, spurns him on to become a bit more ambitious. The bustling mass of pilgrims is impressive, as are the many languages, colors, and ways of dress present. People coming from west, east, north, and south. You're standing at a place where the roads meet, and that is where people and ideas meet. I shall talk to the people. I did not become gregarious, what a shame. And I died. Oh, wow. And we are part of the Holy Roman Empire yet again. Oh, and we're going to see the other side of the coin. I can already tell. I'm 63. Alright, you know what? We're not going to see any sort of coin, I fear. The conversion of Ruthenia. Look at that. Oh, they are an open rebellion. I assume this is the rebellion against the Great Conversion. Nope, just a war against the tyranny. I don't know why you would convert during these trying times, but King Stanislav the Careless has asked the Patriarch of Constantinople to convert, and there you go, the Russians are now turning. And I want to point out that the Polish people have been ruled, and actually Prague itself have been ruled by Lithuanian Romovans, as well as, of course, over here, the King of Novgorod, also Lithuanian Romovans. The Lithuanians already building their Poland-Lithuanian Russian Commonwealth, because why not, right? I'm impressed by Aquitaine still standing. I thought they would be too weak, but they actually fought off the Umayyads one time and still quite strong. The Knights of Sardinia. Man, they give out these islands like they're absolutely nothing. The magnanimous Kaiser Peter of the Holy Roman Empire has donated the island of Sardinia to the Knights of St. John, better known as the Knights Hospitaller. As one of the long-standing protectors of the faith, this will surely make the route safer for all the pilgrims seeking the Holy Land. The order is now known as the Knights of Sardinia, and Grandmaster Perrano vows to continue their mission to the righteous defenders of Christianity and its faithful followers. Blessed are the Knights of Sardinia. I like this relationship that the Holy Roman Empire has with the clergy and the holy orders, because not only are we giving out, or have we given out as the Holy Roman Empire, a lot of land to the clergy, a much more, you know, willing process of handing out land to the church. It was an absolute necessity, otherwise we wouldn't have even been able to found this empire. And now the AI has decided to continue on this path and hand it over to the Knights of Sardinia. I'm very impressed. Oh wow, and Denmark just took control of this land, but it wasn't actually Denmark that took it. It was Jarl Arnfast the Frog of Man that took it, and I think, first of all, I want to check something here. How are you doing? Ah, Verle no longer exists. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Oh man, he never got a child. Siegbjörn of Verle was never able to establish a Norse dynasty down here. That, of course, sucks, but we are getting the new Normans, it seems, at least if Man at any point were to become independent, if Man at any point were to become Catholic, because they will be sure to, you know, remain down here. At least I hope so, but we'd have to see how that goes. That is an interesting prepared invasion. The Germanics may be the new biggest threat to Catholicism. Another day at court and another endless procession of matters that you are required to pass judgment on. As yet another peasant drones on about his sickly pigs and the neighbors he believes poisoned them, you feel a profound emptiness. This isn't the life you had imagined. By the Blessed Virgin, will you shut up about your pigs? Luca Alberto. Poor guy. Cancer, depressed, it just doesn't get any easier here. And no, I will not become... Get out of here. And you know, you may consider this cheating. I don't think so. I'm just going to go ahead and say, Duca Alberto the Lionheart, I'm sure you had a full life without me, before me. But, well, I think you're a bit bored, and so am I. Now the endless rest. Who do we take over as? Oh, look at that. We are 46. Why are we always so damn old? Alright, we are an Idrisid. Wait a minute. Aren't the Idrisids a fairly important family? Aren't we supposed to be a fairly important family? I can't remember, but I swear that I kept reading the words Idrisids. No, this is not true. I am a peasant leader. Oh, that is fascinating. So I'm a peasant leader, and I'm a tough soldier. I'm a poet, an administrator, gluttonous, greedy, lustful, paranoid, kind, and humble. A pretty flawed peasant leader, but a peasant leader nonetheless, and a peasant leader that is willing to do whatever is necessary. But we are under the rule of Emir Aram of the Razolid Empire, Emirate. He has cancer, he's 19 years old, he's a pretty good person except for his cruelty, and he has been mystically altered. Now, we have some event-spawn troops, so we are married, we have a lot of children. Very, very nice, and as a peasant leader, of course, we get some combat skill there. That's fair. I think Sheikh Idris the Drunkard is going to make a name for himself by, you know, conquering the regions around him. Man, this is a... We haven't looked at this region in a long time. We have a very strong Ikhshidid Sultanate, a fairly strong Abbasid Caliphdom. Caliph Ar-Radi II the Mul is ruling over here, 12k troops here, that's pretty okay. And then the Seljuks, magnificent as they are, Padishah Seljuk II the Great of the Seljuk Khaganate. Yeah, look at this, still in control of so much, and I don't think he will stop here. I think we're going to see more and more invasions. Now, whether we will survive them is of course a different topic. Young Khairuddin has finished his education in the ways of war. It turned out less well than expected, my god. As you stop for camp one evening, you notice that an old man in poor clothing has made camp at the same place. The man offers to tell you a hadith he has if you can spare him some bread. Sure. The old man says, as related by Al-Tirmidhi, I said, O Prophet of Allah, will we be held accountable for what we say? He said, may your mother be bereft of you. Is there anything that topples people on their faces into the hellfire other than their jests of their tongues? Alhamdulillah. And with that we learned something more. We're going to be... I think with this verse, we are going to decide to become a bit more honest, you know, to not really lie. Although, of course, we are not the most zealous person. We are paranoid as well. We have to see how that goes. Ooh, an actual revolt, huh? Yeah, that revolt will definitely lose, though. As you arrive in Mecca, you change from your traveling clothes and dress in the white Ihram clothing. This cloth is intended to make everyone appear the same, as in the eyes of Allah, there is no difference between a sheik and a pauper. Of course. You're now at Kaaba itself and performing the Tawaf. 7 circuits you will walk around the black stone, and each time you complete a circuit, you point to the stone and say, in the name of Allah, Allah is great, Allah is great, Allah is great, and praise be to Allah. We shall shout at every circuit, not become proud, but we certainly wouldn't become humble, seeing as we just lost that trait. When Abraham left Mina and was brought down to Al-Kaaba, the devil appeared to him. Gabriel said to him, pelt him. So Abraham threw 7 stones at him so that he disappeared from him. Stone the Jamarat. So... I've returned to my court a changed man. I'm truly humble before Allah, and I know that all men are equal and can live in harmony with each other. Very nice. Alright, with that being said, I do want to go to war. Ta'is shall be mine. Yeah, we should be able to do this in time, although I wouldn't want to bet on it. It's a bit risky. Just because we are running out of money as we speak. Come on. It's not going to be 100, is it? 90. Alright, let's just walk in there. See what we can do here. Alright, I just don't go against me, mercenaries, please. Oh, wow, the mercenaries could have rebelled, but they didn't. That was a gamble that I would not take a second time, I will admit to you. You are out, and I am in. Thais is ours, and of course we are in debt and everything in between, and I hate it, you hate it, we all hate it, but you know, you gotta live with whatever you have, or what, you know, is given to you. I just wish we were in a better state, but you know, 2 counties is more than 1 county, of course. And yeah, look at that. Abyssinia allied to Socotra. This is difficult. This is a super difficult region. Abyssinia is fairly strong. Socotra is fairly strong. Ikhshidids are strong. Abbasids are strong. Seljuks are strong. We are weak. We are weak, and I do not know whether we have a chance to actually go ahead and get this stuff done. And how does this kid have this sort of amount of troops? That's just incredible. He holds this mosque. He holds this vineyard. That makes a lot of sense. Oh my god. The Mongols. Word has reached us that an ambitious Khan from beyond the Great Mountains has set out to unite the clans of the Great Steppe. It is also said by men who read the stars that this Khan is destined to become the ruler of the world. Khagan Temujin of the Mongol Empire has arrived in 1008. God. We're fighting for, yeah, he's just going for Dili. Wow, okay, so we have the Seljuks still in full swing. We have the Mongols coming in now, and I am doing literally nothing because Sheikh Idris the Drunkard is pretty bad. So, this is actually quite interesting. King Boson of West Francia made the Ikhshidids into his tributary. And I like the idea because we're going to act as though this simply means that the Ikhshidids have to guarantee safety for Christian travelers, for Christian pilgrims, and for anyone really who wants to, you know, visit the Holy Land that is of the right religion, of course. Interesting. Our character up there, or down there rather, died, and we are now No longer the Sheikh Idris the Drunkard, he died to an infected wound, and Sheikh Talib of Baida took over. Honestly, you didn't miss much, not much went on down there. And now we are Countess Ermengarde of Tours. Now, initially, of course, you may say, wait a minute, but, you know, House d'Anjou, you're already 39. Isn't this yet another, you know, I'll just sit here and wait because I'm gonna die soon anyway? And of course, you know, there is a reasonable assumption, I think, that is something that I have to answer with yes, but also I actually very much disagree. I think we can turn this, I think we can make this into something absolutely excellent, and I think we can do that fairly soon. And I do believe that if we play our cards right, we can end up with a great playthrough as the House d'Anjou. But for the moment, you know, this is the end of this episode, and I want to thank the members of this channel, namely the Barons Aaron, Stefan, the Richest T, Snywolf, Emma, Marmello, Thomas, Lachlan, and Mitchell. Then, of course, also the Counts, Shifty, Ixum, the Naughty, and Wombat. And last but not least, the absolutely beautiful Dukes, Suspicious Duck, Benedict, Nathan, Knight of Squires, Kenneth, Lexo, Roboman, My Dad Left Me at Arby's, and the absolute legends, Eric and Aiden. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I will see you later, Alligator.